investor, the not so savvy investor, right? It suggests to the investor that the financial advisor operates with objectivity and impartiality. Circle these two words, right? So when you call yourself independent, you say, I'm objective, I'm impartial, right? I only care for your interests. I'm not caring for the interests of the product provider, all right? And I do not have any personal conflict of interest when recommending an investment product as a result of any commercial or financial links with the product provider. So this is the connotation that is given to the investing public. All right, when a financial advisor calls itself independent, meaning it is independent of the product provider, right? All right, so in the light of such public expectations of objectivity and impartiality of the recommendation, so the financial advisor regulation, the FAR, which has the force of law, limits the use of the word independent by financial advisors. Okay? So that is an important notice, and here there's an important guideline complementing that notice, right? In terms of the limitation, the restriction on the use of the word independent. All right? Now, of course, the MAS is using a principle-based approach. So what is the test for independence, and what are the conditions that you need to meet before you can call yourself independent? All right. So the MAS is not saying that you cannot use the word independent in any form or manner. What MAS is saying that you should not use the word independent unless you are really independent, meaning you are impartial, you are objective, all right, and there's no family or commercial or financial links with the product provider. Okay. Now B sets out the conditions to be met, right? So you look at 6.8 under B1. Now it's very clear to you that no licensed financial advisor or exempt financial advisor, even a bank, even an exempt financial advisor, both licensed and exempt, shall use the word independent or any of its derivatives, or in any language, or any word or expression in any language that is of like import to independent. All right? So you cannot get around it and say, look, I use the Latin word for independent, right? Or I use an Egyptian word or a Persian word, or for independent. The answer is no, right? Not in any other language or in other derivative that gives the impression of you being independent. All right, it sets out A there in the name, description, or title under which you carry on business in Singapore, promote or advertise your services, or in respect of a provision of any financial advisory services, it does not receive any commission or other benefit from a product, which may create a product bias. All right, so you receive commission or other types of benefit. Well, it gives rise to the impression of being biased, because the product provider is giving you more than the normal commission, all right, for you to market and sell the product. So that definitely will create some product bias because you got more money, right? Or does not pay any commission to or confer other benefit upon its representatives, which may create product bias, right? It operates free from any direct and indirect restriction relating to any investment product which is recommended, and it operates without any conflict of interest created by any connection to or association with any product provider. Right? So those are some of the things that you need to look at a bit more closely, particularly for the financial advisor or the financial institution concerned, whether you have met the conditions to be able to use the term independent. Right? So 6.9 says similar things: a licensed financial advisor and exempt financial advisor. Right? Okay, so I'm going to move on. Now look at B2 very quickly. Now what's a basic test of independence? That's a key. Take a look at the 6.11 all the way to 6.14. All right. Now those paragraphs there set out the test whether a financial advisor or a financial institution can use the word independent. Right. Right, the 6.11 is still the same. Whether a reasonable investor, knowing all the facts and circumstances, for the advice given or the recommendation given to meet the twin objectives of being objective and impartial. Okay, so MAS will consider all the relevant facts and circumstances, right, to see whether the advice that the advice that's been given or the recommendation that's been made are objective and impartial. If not, then you infringe, all right? You fail the test for independence. All right? Or the MAS of the view that to assist investors to have confidence in the advice, all right, that they receive, the term independence should only be used by financial advisors who can clearly demonstrate that they do not have financial or commercial links with product providers, which are capable of influencing their recommendation, or whether these other things are relatively insignificant. Okay, so those are the things that you need to look at. And 6.3 is key also. The MAS consider a financial advisor can use the word can if it does not receive any of the following. All right, any commission apart from commission that's rebated in full to the financial advisor's clients. Right, that means the customer benefit. Right, any form of remuneration calculated at a rate or on a basis that varies having regard to any of the following. Right, the number of transactions so arranged by the financial advisor or effected or carried out, or the value of each transaction or all transactions, example for life policies based on the amount of premiums paid or payable or the amount of sum insured. Right, for unit trusts based on the subscriptions paid or payable. And any gift or other benefit from any product provider which may reasonably to expect to influence the financial advisor. Right? It operates free from any direct, indirect restriction, as mentioned earlier. It operates without any conflict of interest and expected to influence the financial advisor in carrying out its work. Right? So pay a little bit of attention to paragraph 611 to 613, okay, relating to the basic test of independence. Right? Now, paragraph C talks about commission and other benefits. Right? So, as far as the commission is concerned, financial advisor may be compensated by product providers in various ways for the work performed by the financial advisor. Right? But in any event, if you receive commission or other benefits as referred to paragraph 16A, you refer back to 16A. Anything that's additional, all right, to the normal commission that applies, then the advice may seem not to be impartial or objective, and in which case, then it should not use the word independent. Right? So the long and short of it all is that the financial advisor must not receive anything over and above what is supposed to receive in providing the advice to client, acting on behalf of the product provider. Right? So NICE 617 gives an avenue. Right, that even if you are receiving commission, it doesn't mean that you cannot use the word independent itself. All right, the key issue here, I emphasize the key issue here is whether the commission or other benefit is likely to create a bias. All right, the key word there is bias. All right, whether the advice given by the financial advisor is objective and impartial, and all this, as is stated there, is a question of fact. All right, it's a question of fact. And of course, they give you some guidelines below to say that what are the situations in which it may not be counted as an additional benefit or additional commission, right? That may influence the financial advisor not to be objective and not to be impartial, right? Or to put it the other way around, that will influence the financial advisor to be biased in giving the advice or recommending the product. Right? Now, just to give an example, a flavor of what we are talking here. So 6.18 says that, right, in cases where financial advisors' remuneration consists of commissions or other benefits, All right, and obviously a financial advisor has to be paid either by commission or other benefits. Otherwise, the financial advisor will not do the work. Right? The financial advisor may not be restricted, may not be limited from using the word independent if, a big if there, if the commissions or other benefits that it receives are insignificant relative to the total revenue. Right? So that is a formula, as it were, in inverted commas, where you can look at the issue whether it creates a bias or not. All right, in the eyes of the customer. All right. Now, this is because such commissions or benefits may not tend to create a product bias, or they may not be sufficiently attractive enough to be able to influence the recommendation or the advice given by the financial advisor. Right? So clearly it says that low value financial benefits such as a business lunch or a free seminar would not give rise to such a concern. All right? So a simple business lunch, right, may not give rise to an issue of biasness. All right? Now again, having said this, somebody actually asked me this question in one of the seminars that I had. What happens if the business lunch is an expensive one, right? And how often are these expensive business lunches given by the product provider to the financial advisor representatives or the financial advisor management, all right, to render that the advice or the recommendation be biased. All right, so it's a difficult call. Here it says low value, right? So again, it is a relative. So low value meaning what? A $2 lunch, a $10 lunch, or a $100 lunch. All right. So what is low value is relative, right? So again, it is a judgment call. It is common sense, all right? Common sense in terms of the financial advisor's judgment. Similarly, a free seminar. Again, what's the meaning of a free seminar? All right. There's no free lunch in this world, as I understand it from my experiences. All right. So a seminar costs money. So how can a seminar be free? All right, and then end of the day is, will not be a cause for concern. So end of the day, it is again, as I've said earlier, judgment call. All this is a question of fact, all right? Whether it gives rise to this issue of a customer looking at the word independent, all right, as the financial advisor not in a position to give impartial and objective advice. Okay, I've talked quite a bit on C1, and so C2 is a similar argument, right? So a financial advisor is likely to be biased in favor of a particular investment product from a particular product provider unless it receive a broadly similar commission for similar product of classes that recommend. All right, similar level of commission, well, there's no reason for me to be biased, right? Right. So the next line is quite clear. Also be a case if you receive the same level of commission but you receive significant additional benefits. Now, example, like I said earlier, under no free lunch, free research, right? Free training for recommending a particular product, right? Right. So you receive free training for your staff. You receive free research. Right, from the product provider. So does that amount to bias? Okay, again, it's a question of fact. All right, if there are any significant differences in the rates of commission payable for different classes of products, all right, such differences may create a bias. All right, so in that regard. All right, so the rest is similar in terms of C3, commission sharing arrangement. All right. C4 talks about the similar thing, significant commissions or benefits. And here they give you a rule of thumb of more than 20%, right, of the financial advisor's total revenue, and differences in the rate of commission amounting to more than 20% will generally be regarded as significant. All right. So that gives you an inkling, that gives you an idea as to how MAS will look at the facts of each situation to determine whether you're in breach, all right, of this particular regulation. Okay. Right. Then D talks about product restriction, right, and then E talk about the relationship with the product provider. All right. All this product restriction, relationship with product provider, actually looks at the issue of independence. All right. So yeah, this pretty self-explanatory there. So it's a view taken by the MAS in regard to whether a financial advisor or financial institution can use this word independent. All right. Now, very quickly, then we look at the last bit there, paragraph F, penalty for breach. Right. So similarly, there is an offence for breach if you use the word a financial advisor. If you use the word independent, if the financial advisor or the financial institution use the word independent, and if you fail the test as set out in this particular guideline, regard to the basic test, regard to commission and other benefits, and in regard to relationship with the product provider and product restriction, then it is a offense. Right? Now, then I want to take a look at paragraph G before I leave this particular segment. 6.31, very quickly. Although the MAS has issued these guidelines, the question of independence, I must repeat, depends on the facts and circumstances of each case. Right? So it's a principle-based approach. Right? It's not prescriptive, it is principle-based. Therefore, mere compliance with this guideline does not necessarily ensure that the financial advisor can use the word independent. All right, you cannot tell the MAS, hey, I'm complying with all these guidelines, therefore I can use. Right. So the advice, what the MAS is saying in this guideline is that financial advisors and the representatives should carefully, they use the word carefully, consider their own particular facts and circumstances, all right, in relation to any family, commercial, financial links, any significant commissions, significant soft dollars, significant benefits, like lunches and research and seminars. And in the past, if I remember, the insurance companies and the banks, they give a lot of leather-bound diaries, very expensive diaries to the product, to the financial advisors or to the customers, right? So nowadays, I think they've done away with all these expensive gifts, all right, to the financial advisors from the product providers, right? All right. So before using the term, in the name, description, or title under which they carry on business to promote and advertise the services, etc. And the ball is in the court of the financial advisor, right? To be able to demonstrate that it is in compliance, in complete compliance before, I must emphasize that, before using the term independent. Okay? Alright, so in other words, the financial institution or the financial advisor must consider its own facts, its own particular facts and the particular circumstances before you can use the term independent, right, to describe your business or to promote and advertise your business. Advertise your business.